Celebrity voice impersonation not an endorsement. Why go to a single furniture store when you can go to Big Sandy Superstore? Shop and compare America's top 5 mattress brands, plus Nectar and Purple. And choose from over 22,000 in-stock appliances from the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Or furnish the room of your dreams with a large selection of American-built furniture. With financing plans for just about anyone, there's nowhere else quite like it. Big Sandy Superstore.
This is the smell of the leftover tuna fish sandwich you left in your lunchbox over the weekend in a wimpy trash bag.
Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy!
Blech! And this is the smell of that same sandwich in a hefty, ultra-strong trash bag.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
Ah, smell the difference? Hefty Ultra Strong has Arm & Hammer with continuous odor control, so no matter what's inside your trash, you can stay one step ahead of stinky. And for bigger jobs, try the superior strength of Hefty Large Black Bags.
Should we start this off with a bang?
Back at it again.
Back at it again.
Call her daddy vibes. Back at it again.
Good morning, angels. Welcome back to Morning Rae. I'm here with Lea, and I'm your host, Lani or Lana, whatever you want to call me.
One day they'll get it.
2021 part 2. Let's get it, because January was like 4 years long. I don't know why, but every single year January feels like it's 2 years in one.
Literally half of the year just in the month of January.
Like, how are we still in January? Well, now we're not. It's February when you're listening to this. We made it through the first month of 2021. We had some craziness in the first week, but then I think it like simmered down.
I would say so. Give yourself a pat on the back right now for making it through January. Everyone,
I was just patting myself.
Yeah, give yourself a pat. You did it.
But anyways, guys, I'm really excited to have Lea on the pod, my little bestie.
I'm excited to be back.
The hot ass producer.
That is my official title on all documents, everything. My nameplate on my desk, it says
hot ass producer. I think if we ever come out with merch,
that's what we would have to say.
Hot ass producer.
Yep, that is me.
Let's get on to our weekly intentions. So, Lea, do you want to do yours? I'm just putting you on the spot here.
You are. My intention is I have like a massive to-do list on my desktop, and I really want to actually start to do things on it and not just look at it because the font is pretty. So I really need to organize myself and start to get things done that I've been wanting to get done, like start a YouTube channel. So that's my intention. Got to organize myself.
My weekly intention is to plan out my meals so that I can grocery shop intentionally, because I don't know about you, but sometimes, well, actually, no, I know about you because I know you plan your meals. But my parents are always like, Alana, put down the stuff that you want on the grocery list. And I always put down the same freaking things. When it comes to making my recipes throughout the week, I just make the same thing every single night for dinner. And I'm sure if you guys have seen my stories, you can tell.
I mean, I used to do that. This is a whole new thing for me that I've been planning. So I'm glad you're doing it.
Yes, you inspired me. Planning out my meals so I can grocery shop intentionally, or I can at least send my father to grocery shop intentionally for me. Now on to our tip of the week. Mine correlates back to my weekly intention. It's thinking of your future self when it comes to meals. I know it's easy to wait to the last minute when you're super hungry and you kind of just like throw whatever together. But if you think ahead and have like meal ideas planned out, you'll be able to have fun in the kitchen and make really fun recipes. Like last week, I made portobello mushrooms. Like I cooked whitefish instead of salmon, and I did it with like olive oil and lemon juice, and I even like sliced some lemon and like put it on there. And
chef, ladies and gents, who is she?
I don't know. She's new. She's not
chefing it up. Add a little bit of spice. That's you in the kitchen.
The red chili flakes on everything, though.
Yep.
A little spice. What's your tip of the week?
If I'm going off of like the organization thing, similar to how your tip goes off of your intention, I would try to say like how people say like your clean room, clean mind type of thing, like clean surroundings. My room is a mess. My like to-do list is a mess. My life is a mess. So definitely organizing your surroundings in your room, in your house, in your apartment, your dorm, whatever, is going to help you organize your head and just de-stress. If that makes sense. I feel like I definitely am not the only one that
I
that
feel
happens
you.
to. Yeah.
I feel you. That's me right now. I'm feeling like flustered or like kerfuffled. Is that
Yeah.
you know that word?
That's the new word. Lani's feeling kerfuffled, everybody.
Yeah,
Take a
you know,
moment.
like the beginning of a semester, it's really overwhelming and I'm kind of working like 9 jobs, I realized today, but we're doing it.
Oh, I was telling my therapist, I'm like, I want to do all these things, but I also know myself that I might just like have a breakdown if I add more to my plate. But I also don't want to be kerfuffled.
Kerfuffled.
What do I do?
Title of the pod app, kerfuffled.
People are gonna be like, what the fuck?
Okay. Bring it back in.
Yes, taking a deep breath.
Okay, Lani listens. This week, I did not have therapy. Lea had therapy. Do you have any words of wisdom from your therapist for what my therapist said?
My therapist told me that maybe I'm just lonely. And that's why I've been sad.
I don't mean to laugh, but you're laughing.
That's literally the one thing that stuck out to me. The majority of the therapy session was telling me that maybe I don't need someone, I'm just lonely.
I mean, you can laugh through it, but I
know,
think it's
I
like
feel
common to like feel lonely right now. Like we're in a
100%.
pandemic, like we really can't see people. It's not like you're going out to a bar or like you're even considered in a coffee shop by yourself and be surrounded by people other than your family. So I totally feel you on that one.
Yeah, I know. And if anyone's wondering, my therapist's name is Jacqueline, since we know Lani's therapist. So
Tamar.
bringing Lea's therapist into it. But yeah, when she said that, she was like, I don't mean to upset you. I'm like, no, I'm already upset. I just know that you're right. Like, I am lonely. I understand if you're feeling the same way because I'm lonely too. And so if you guys want to be lonely together, I'm here for you.
Okay, let's do Lani Listens. You guys are in for a treat. You're getting both what my therapist said, well, what Lea's therapist said, and Lani Listens. But Lani Listens is accompanied by Lea. So you guys are winning this week. You're starting off February strong. So obviously, I went to my Instagram and I posted a story and asked you guys what you want advice on. So question number 1 from a beautiful listener. Were you always sure what you wanted to do in life? No, I still don't know.
Crickets. Literally the crickets. No.
No, like I think I've always known like, okay, like I want to go into marketing.
Did you have a thing when you were little?
I wanted to be a fashion designer and a
Oh.
ballerina.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. You know, there's always that. I wanted to be a professional soccer player. So it's okay.
It's
fine.
okay. It
I'm
happens.
fine.
Leah, do you know what you want to do in life? I mean, you're already kind of there. You're already like pursuing that career.
I'm not a professional soccer player, but I'm working in the fashion industry in product development and management. So I absolutely love the fashion industry. I think I'd want to steer more into like marketing or the social media side of it or something. But now that I've been doing all of this social media stuff, it like definitely makes me think twice. And now I'm like scrapped any idea of what I wanted to do in life. And now I'm back to like square one. I have no idea. Because now I'm like vibing with what's going on with Instagram and then maybe the YouTube channel and my job. So like the world's my oyster.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
As much as I love doing my own socials, I've learned that I don't love as much as doing it for a company. I don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoy like more of a personal brand.
Yeah. Honestly, you creative people out there who are just like born with a sprinkle of creativity or a heaping like cup of creativity, you're blessed. Like I wish I had that. Freshman year of college, I had a list in my notes of like captions I wanted to do.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
A cool freshman in college. Is that a thing still? I see it on TikTok sometimes, but like I'm not creative.
Mean, It was a thing when I was in first year and second year.
Yeah.
But I
Maybe
don't
it is
know. I don't know.
still.
But on the topic of college, what are some self-care tips while sharing a dorm in college? A listener asked. I just thought that was really smooth.
That worked out so well. That was so exciting. She's growing up so quickly.
Guys, I'm getting good at podcasting. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Self-care tips while in a college dorm. Well, like the first thing I would say is like you're not going to have your same routine as you did at home. So definitely try to create one for yourself for like morning and night that you can adjust to in a dorm where you might not have your own bathroom, like it'll probably be communal, or you have your roommates there and everything, and talk to each other. Like communication is key through all of that. So just like if you need your time for meditation, just like see what your roommate's doing at like whatever time you want to do it and coordinate so like you don't clash or have issues with that kind of stuff. And keep your shit clean, like keep your space clean for everybody, like well-being and mental health. Like just be clean. But I feel like if you have a good routine, I did not, so I feel like I'm giving advice based on what I would want now in college. Like self-care was not a thing for me. I just feel
But
like
I feel like it's good that you're like
I
your
realize it now.
perspective now.
Yeah. Like freshman year of college, it's like self-care who? Like who is she?
She does not exist.
Yeah. Like obviously I brushed my teeth and I showered, but like face mask? No.
I'm thinking like also your diet and like what you're eating. It's easy to like go for like, the chips and the chocolate and the pop.
Oh my God. Soda.
Pop. Coke. I think I call it pop.
Well, I'm officially retiring as producer of the podcast. I've never heard.
I don't know. Soda.
I mean, I knew it was a thing, but
soda.
Going off of what you were gonna say though, we had a convenience store kind of with a Subway in it our freshman year, and it was in our dorm, so you could just walk over to it. So like every night, if you are craving mac and cheese, go get mac and cheese. You want a sandwich, go to Subway. Like candy, you have, like it's all there. I don't know. I just feel like that sucked, and I was not healthy freshman year. So definitely try to do things that are good for your body and that make you feel good. So like definitely go on walks and get outside, and keep food in your like room that are nutritious snacks that fuel your body, not like a bag of Cheetos all the time.
Yeah, you can utilize like the instant packs of like oatmeal, or if you can get a mini fridge, like get a mini fridge, keep some coconut yogurt or like yogurt in there. Make sure you eat it so it doesn't go bad. I guess like that can be motivation to like eat a bit better.
It's possible. You just also have to want to do it for yourself and like do it to feel good and do it to feel your body. So that's, I think, a big part of it.
On to our current faves, and then we're going to be going into our firsts and your first. Okay, my current faves, I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but obviously you guys can tell it's trying new recipes. I've also been loving going to coffee shops, like local coffee shops, opposed to like Starbucks or big chains. I typically do this when I'm downtown because they're in walking distance, and I've really been liking going to Jimmy's. If you're local to Toronto, I highly recommend if you haven't tried it. And my third favorite is like a very adulty thing. I have a second desktop screen, so it's super helpful. I have an Excel class where he shows us in a tutorial how to do it, and that's not fun. On a split screen on a Mac, it's really hard to see, but it's been a lot of fun, and I feel very like professional and adulty.
Yeah, I relate to that. I knew I was a big girl when I got my second desktop for work, and then when I was at the office before COVID, I got a third one, and now that's just crazy. But I agree, the second desktop is a game changer. On to our first for February 1st.
Okay. Yes. Okay. First kiss. My first kiss was in grade 10. I would say I felt like that was really late. You're 16, 15?
Yeah,
15 turning 16.
I never remember like grade and ages anymore. Okay, that's not bad.
Not bad. And it was at a Halloween party. And that whole night, it was with one of like my good guy friends. he like kept trying to come up to me, and like everyone was saying like he wants to hook up with you and he wants you and like, you know, like classic.
Oh yeah.
I was like kind of nervous. It was also my first party, and we were standing right in front of the music, and he was trying to comfort me because I said like I was like nervous, like being at the party. It was my first party. I was sober. I didn't drink. And he like pushed my hair behind my ear, and like he's like, it'll be okay. And then he just leaned in.
I feel like my list of things to buy, to do, activities that involve spending money is never ending around the holidays, making the idea of investing and saving and thinking about your future to be a little bit more challenging, a little bit more overwhelming. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for you, your kids, and your retirement, even during the holidays. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you. You don't need a ton of time. You can create your Acorns account and start automatically investing your money in just 5 minutes. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now. That could be $5 a day or even just your spare change. That's right, Acorns can round every purchase you make up to the dollar and automatically invest your spare change for you. And you can get bonus investments just for buying the stuff you need from the brands you love. I personally love Acorns. It's simplified the investment process, which can be overwhelming and intimidating, but it just makes it so simple, so easy, and something more accessible no matter how much money you have to invest. Head to acorns.com/Alana or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/Alana. I'm super excited about today's sponsor. They've sponsored the podcast before, and this is a topic I'm super passionate about. I fear that us as girls struggle with PMS far more than we should, and we really shouldn't. I truly get the worst PMS symptoms. My boobs are sensitive, my face breaks out, my sugar controllings are out of whack. I feel like I'm just a bottomless pit. My mood is not the vibe, and Estro Control has been super helpful in helping manage those PMS symptoms and making that time of the month a lot more enjoyable. Estro Control is a formula developed by Happy Mammoth, a supplement company dedicated to making women's lives easier. Say no more. Estro Control contains science-backed herbal extracts that help support hormonal health, especially if you are someone like myself who struggles with PMS. It was created to help women feel like themselves all month long and to not struggle with the feelings PMS can cause. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Alana at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Alana for 15% off today.
Then he's getting hot.
Spicy.
He's reminiscing. Better than mine. Oh my god.
What was yours?
What if he's listening? That's the first thing I think. He's not listening. So mine was at camp. I went to a Jewish sleepaway camp for 8 years.
Classic.
And I was vibing with this boy who was a year younger. And
ooh, we have a cougar.
We were being a little flirty and like talking for, I think I was 13, so like, you know, talking for 13-year-olds. And everyone was getting their first kiss, so like I knew that's where it was going. So like after our evening activities, you get like milk and cookies. And
okay.
That's when all of like the kisses always happen. So
the kisses.
We were by the pine trees, and I thought someone called my name, I think, and I turned my head, and then I looked back and he like leaned in to kiss me, and we kissed. And then I like looked away and he ran away.
Oh no. Maybe he was nervous.
And he ran away, and then I went back to my bunk and spilled the tea to like everybody there, because you always shared your first kiss story. And then we ended up being a thing for like 2-3 summers actually. So like it worked out. So yeah. But I just always remember he ran away. Now he's a chef.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. I'm going to read a first kiss story from a listener. So, her and her best friend had their first kiss the same night, the same time in a treehouse. She ended up dating the boy. The guy she kissed just continued to be a friend, but they were all hanging out in the treehouse, and her friend was like her wing woman, and then all of a sudden we were making out with them.
Oh my God. I love that. Oh my God. So I have another one that's similar to mine, and she basically said that her first kiss was in 7th grade Truth or Dare, and she was dared to kiss a boy on the blacktop at lunchtime, and she went outside like with all of her friends who were telling her to do it, and he ran away from her. And I was like, I relate to that so much. And then he like came back and was like, Zoe, can I talk to you? And he pulled her aside and was like, you can kiss me now if you want. And then they kissed, and she was like, honestly, it's a sad story because he did run away. But I relate. I totally feel that. It's okay.
First drinking experience?
Okay, first drinking experience. The one I feel like was my first that I would remember most was me and my friend Sam. Hi, Sam, if you're listening. We're at her house. I don't know like what we were pre-gaming for or something, but we were in high school and we stole her sister's vodka, and it was like some like red raspberry thing, which just like a very fruity red raspberry would be like the title of it. Like I feel like you can taste it from the name, and it just tasted like absolute shit, and nothing wild happened. I just remember like drinking that stuff.
How much did you drink? Did you have like one shot and you're like, oh, I'm so wasted?
The people who like sniff it and they're like, oh, I'm drunk. I don't even remember. I don't know what we were doing, but like people would definitely drink for like our football games and stuff. So like it was probably for something like that. Definitely not a crazy experience. I feel like maybe we'll get a little bit more wild as we keep going in these questions. What was your first drinking?
Mine was in grade 11. I like had no interest in drinking until then, and I remember being so scared. I was like a goody two shoes. I asked my mom for the alcohol, and I remember being so nervous, and she gave me vodka. I think it was Absolute or Grey Goose or Finlandia, one of the three. I remember I think I poured myself like maybe 2 shots, and like nothing like happened. I just remember like feeling drunk for the first time, and like I didn't throw up, but like it was like a good time. And I used to get really bad social anxiety, and I realized that like I had no anxiety when I like would drink for the parties. So that was like my first experience. And I just remember like everyone was like, oh my God, like Alana's drinking, like this is so fun, Alana, come take a shot with me, because like I was always like the goody two shoes.
That was me with like drugs. Sounds like such a, in my head, like aggressive term, but I was such a goody two shoes when it came to that. Anyone would smoke in high school, I'm like, I can't be friends with you. Like that's bad, and I can't be associated with that. I always just thought it was the worst thing in the world, and I don't even know who put that in my head. And then I don't know what was the day that it happened where I decided smoking was not a bad thing, but something clicked, and it was like my senior year of high school. I just remember like every day I was smoking with like my one friend, and we would go on like hikes and smoke, and I'm like, this is so much fun.
Oh my God.
So I don't know why I was such a goody two shoes at first, but like I've never tried any other drugs. I'm scared to like not knowing what my body's doing, or like not being in control.
Same. I hate that feeling.
So I've never really tried anything else. I'm not like opposed to it. I think I would do it in like a controlled setting. So like I'm not trying to be a goody two shoes now. I just have like never tried any of it.
I've never smoked weed or anything. I just like,
have you really not?
Never. I just like have like no interest in it. Like I will literally, for those that aren't from like Toronto or Canada, like it's all fully legal here. But I would go to like chills like with my friends, and they're all just like passing a joint around, and I'm just chilling there, just talking.
Wow. You learn something new every day. Lani's never smoked weed.
Never been high.
That's so fun. Good for you. On to first email. We're going to switch things up. Drugs and alcohol.
Keep it a little PG up in here. Okay, my first email was competitivedancer66@hotmail.com. Now, this did not fit on any information form because my writing was also very wide and this email was very, very long.
Yeah, that was aggressive.
But that's how I learned how to spell competitive.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Mine was soccer girl 09 or something because 9 was my lucky number. And then after that, I changed it to gatekeeper 25 because like I was a goalie and it was defendthegoal@yahoo.com. Email me, it's still a thing. And then it was gatekeeper because I was a goalie. My dad came up with those. But a listener sent in that her first email, similar to yours, was Dancing Diva 214. She said that she never really even danced or had the ability or talent to dance, but for some reason she was convinced that it would be like a cool email. Love that though. Dancing Diva 214.
Which one do we want to do next?
First kind of phone.
First kind of phone? Okay, my first phone was an LG Rumor. It was like white and you like slit it and then you had like the long keyboard.
Did it slide up or did it slide where it like spins?
No, it didn't spin. It wasn't that cool.
I'm using my hands for all of you who cannot see me use my hands. But
it was like a vertical, long, narrow phone, and I had a cool like zebra snap-on case.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Mine, a girl in my middle school had a pink chocolate. The phone was called a chocolate, and I wanted to be like her, so I got a blue chocolate. And it just was a tiny little rectangle, and it slid up for a little keyboard, and that was my first phone. She was beautiful.
I miss the days where we had flip phones and slidey phones.
Those were good. Those were great. What about your first car?
I haven't had my first car yet.
Mine was like a hand-me-down from my mom. She had a car for like 8 years or something, and then I got it from her. His name was Wilbur. He was great. It was, I have to say what kind of car it was. If you just know the name, that's all.
That's all you get.
He was a Ford Edge. He was cream. And then I had a Ford Escape. My Ford Escape.
We like Fords? Are we a Ford family?
For some reason, for like the kids, yeah. At least for me, a Ford Edge and then a Ford Escape. His name was Hudson. And then it was a lease, so we gave back, and now
Little Huddy.
Yeah, Little Huddy. Now I stole my Nana's car, and I named her Ruth because that's just like a grandma name to me. So, and it's a Nissan. I keep just giving you guys the names like that I named.
I like the names.
Thank you. Okay, what next?
I feel like first time could be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we gonna go back to spicy? Okay,
spicy. Maybe mom and dad tune out.
Yeah, this is your warning. All right, you start us off. First time Lani B fit.
Okay. Everyone and their mom knows this story because it was like monumental.
Oh, baby, I'm excited.
Okay, my first time happened on my grad trip. We call it S trip because that was like the organization in the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana. And I think it was the second day of grad trip. And I was with actually one of my good guy friends, but it was at one time and then we moved on.
Is there anything that like spicy? Was it good? Was it weird? Was it long? Was it short?
Okay, so actually, the first, I think it was the third day. It was a Wednesday.
Ooh.
The first 2 days, like, we just, like, meet out, like, other stuff, a little more PG, and we tried, but it was not working, the sitch, girls. Oh, yeah. And then the next day, we tried it. It was a little painful, I will be honest. But I think I don't know. I don't remember how long it was. It was definitely not like what podcast was it? Schnitt Talk. It was like 2 pumps on a futon or something.
Yes. Yeah, obviously.
It was not that.
Like, I didn't expect you to be like, oh my God, it was passionate and it lasted for 30 minutes. Like, obviously, it's your first time. It's not going to be so wild. But I just feel like people are always like, was it long? How'd it go?
Yeah. Oh, and then like afterwards, we had a knock on the door and two guys, one which I like actually like I had the biggest crush on, and I ended up like being with him for a bit. Anyways, he knocked on the door like as we were like whatever. And I just remember being so flustered because I wanted him, but I had just like hooked up with his best friend.
Naughty, naughty. Oh my. I love that though. Very much spicier than mine, I feel like.
What was yours?
My friend Sam, same girl who I had my first drink with, she had just done it, and I'm like, well, Sam's gonna do it, I gotta do it. Like it was about to be senior year. It was June 6th to be exact of my junior year. And I don't know, for some reason just know the date. And I was like just a stupid girl who just wanted to get it over with and chose a guy and didn't have a location. So I drove to a park area place where I used to play soccer, and I did it in a car. And you know, like the urban, I don't know if it was a thing in Canada, but like the high-waisted Urban Outfitter jeans, like skinny jeans, black, they were like in. Like,
yes.
Everyone had them, and I had them, and he broke the zipper, or like the button or something. The most upsetting part of the whole story is like he broke those jeans, and I was so sad. And then he drove away, and we never really talked again. So.
Were you happy though?
I know this sounds like I sound really sad. No, I was. I think the only thing I think about is like if it wasn't with him, it would have been with this guy who I was with that summer, who I met at like my job, and like we were together all of that summer, and then like a little bit into the year and the summer after that, because we worked together. So like if it wasn't going to be that guy, it would have been him, and I just feel like I was just being stupid and wanted to get it over with. Which, if anybody's listening and they haven't had their first time yet, cherish it. I know that sounds stupid and I sound like a mother, but like you don't need to get it over with. Like I've been talking to my cousin about this. I'm not trying to call her out, but you just like don't need to put pressure on yourself because everyone else is, and people like who are younger are just growing up too quickly. So that's
Take your
my life
time,
lesson.
butterfly.
Take your time. Take your time. A listener wrote in that she met this guy from Tinder, and she went to his apartment, and they were both hanging out in bed, and he went to go put on Netflix, and of course, like Netflix and chill, but the man, her quote-unquote words said, put on motherfucking Incredibles 2, like the least sexy movie ever, so not the move. And then she just like got tired and asked him if he wanted to kiss, so they started making out, but he was slobbering like all over her lips, and it was so bad. Like she put a crying emoji. And then she said that they started to like take their clothes off. Like it was pretty clear that he didn't know what he was doing at all. It was just so uncomfortable, and it just got worse and worse. And here's your warning of highly humiliating and TMI. The end of it, he just like couldn't get it up, and it was so uncomfortable. And The Incredibles was playing the entire time in the background.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why he couldn't get it up.
Yep, probably. She goes, long story short, I cannot watch that movie again, and it haunts me to this day. So if The Incredibles was your favorite movie, I am so sorry if I ruined that for you. But thank you for writing in.
Crying. I will never look at the Incredibles 2 movie the same.
I know, right? Like, if that's on TV, I'm just gonna be like, nope, not watching it. Sometimes movies are just like not the way to go when it comes to putting something on, or like even music. If you don't have like a playlist that you already know the next song and like something weird comes on, like
oh yeah, vibe
it
check
could ruin the vibe.
ruined.
Yeah.
Okay, first friend breakup. Mine was in grade 10 with my BFF now, Sarah. I know you guys probably thought I was going to say Corey, but no, it was Sarah. I had lots of friend breakups.
Surprise!
Surprise! Alana was a problematic child, or at least she got tied up with problematic people.
There we go.
But it was in grade 10, and me and Sarah used to get into a lot of fights, and we got to a breaking point. Obviously, it was over boy-ish, and we didn't talk for 7 months. And me and Sarah danced together. We were in the dance program together, and we carpooled together. It was not a fun time, but now we're BFFs again. When was your first BFF breakup?
So mine was in 5th grade, and it was like the cool thing to do to pass notes in class. And I was really close to this girl, she who shall not be named, and we were like arguing over this boy, and I think she thought I liked him, and like I wanted to get them together, and miscommunication, and then we started fighting about all this other stuff. And then she passed the note to me, and I was like, you've changed a lot since the beginning of the year. And she wrote back, maybe I changed because I met you. And then we never talked again, and she told everyone to not be friends with me.
That's not nice.
The end. That's
no.
it. But it's okay.
Millions of years later, I'm still crying.
It's fine. I'm fine. I got over it. I did see her recently at the post office, and it kind of felt good to be like, I'm in a good place. But yeah, that was my first friend breakup, and we didn't get back together. So
I feel like I had more before then, but like Sarah was like my significant like one.
Yeah, that's just my most memorable one for some, just because like I remember those words. She's like, maybe I changed because I met you. Yeah. All right. Listener wrote in and said her first friend breakup was in 3rd grade. She was 8 years old. Totally relate to being babies. And she said it was honestly the most heartbreaking thing, and it happened because her and her best friend were no longer in the same class together. And she wrote, funny how when you're that young, your best friends are your best friends simply because you're in the same class. She said it happened multiple times after that too, and it was never any less devastating.
Oh my God.
She said, I do, however, want to say that all those friend breakups lead you to new people who you would never have met, and now I found my best friend because of it. So there's a positive side to everything. You just have to be willing to look. Oh my God, you queen. That is such a good story. I love that.
I just loved Leah's face when she was reading that.
I was just like, I'm reading it in the moment, so I didn't know how it was going to end. And it was just so positive from 3rd grade. Now you've grown up and you've met your best friend. So
you get them, sis.
Congratulations. All right. First job.
Okay. My first job was for Megan Boys Entertainment. If you are Jewish or have been to a bar mitzvah, I'm sure you know the mitzvah dancers. So I was one of those.
Way.
That was me.
Those dancers, I thought they were so fun. So that makes me happy for you.
What about you?
My first job was not glamorous like that. I worked at, if you're in the States, you might know, Carrabba's Italian Grill. And I was a hostess. So if you called me, I said, ciao, this is Carrabba's Italian Grill in Greenbrook. How can I help you? Yeah, it was really fun. It was a blast. And the bartender, who was way, way older than me, I was not of age, was hitting on me, and it made me very uncomfortable. But that was fun. It was a horrible first job. I hated it. Okay, first period.
Oh my God. Okay, I was in grade 7. I remember specifically I was wearing light pink jeans, low rise to be specific.
Always.
And we were in art class, and I remember going to the washroom and like realizing, oh, that should not be there. And I called my friend Marley to come over, who hasn't had her period either, but she just knew everything. I called Marley over, and I was like, Marley, I think I just got my period. And she came with me to the bathroom. Knowing you used to keep like a pad like in your backpack in case you got your period.
Yeah, of course.
So I went and like she grabbed that like massive pad for me. It was literally like a diaper. I remember having really bad cramps, but I didn't really like leak onto my pants. I was very lucky.
Was it bad?
No, it was not bad, but it could have been bad if I didn't have a small bladder.
That's always key. We did like soccer year round for the club team I was on, so we were doing indoors. And I like, you know, like you kind of like sense it. You're a girl. You're like, it might be coming around now. Like I might be blossoming into a woman around today. And so I like felt the vibe, and I went into the bathroom, and my vibe was correct. It did happen. I blossomed into a woman. So I just like stuffed toilet paper down there. And then I remember telling my mom, and I was so embarrassed. But because I had PCOS, like I didn't know yet. I wasn't diagnosed until like a year and a half after my first period. I didn't get my period again for another year. And I obviously was like, I don't know, I think I might have been 15, 14, but I would tell my friends, I might be pregnant. And they're like, Lea, you haven't even had your like first kiss, or like a boy hasn't even touched you. I didn't know why that was like the joke or something, but I used to say that, and then it turned out that I just had a disease.
Shouldn't be funny.
But yeah, it took me a year and a half to find that out because my periods were so irregular. So, yeah, that's the story. Okay, what is next? Next is first therapy / therapist, first time going to therapy.
So I used to go to therapy when I was younger. I don't remember exactly what happened with like that first therapy session, but all I remember is that I would go on Mondays, I would get out of French class, and my mom would bribe me to go by promising me I would get a Starbucks Frappuccino. And I would alternate between the vanilla bean and the chocolate because I couldn't have the coffee ones. But that's all I really remember, like my first therapy session. What about you?
I think I went on Mondays too for mine. It was in college, and she had red hair, and she was very, very spiritual. We just didn't vibe. So when she would try to tell me like how to heal myself in ways, I was just like, no, this isn't working for me. And I pretty much just like used her as like a gossip person. Like I would just like vent to be like, my boyfriend's roommate's girlfriend is such a bitch, and like I just would vent, and I was just like, let me just word vomit to this woman who I'm paying to sit here. So I didn't do anything that benefited my actual mental health besides gossiping about some people. And then I think I cried like once about maybe something good, and then I stopped going, and then I finally grew a pair, and now I see Jacqueline, good old Jacqueline.
Now I see Tamar, my BFF. But we're gonna read Sophia Amato's DM about her first therapy. This shouldn't be funny, like this is so not okay, but like because it's Sophia, like this would happen to her.
Makes sense. Yep.
So she said, my first therapy was with an old guy, and he was asking me how my sex drive is.
I have no words. What? Like, of course, like this would happen to her. Oh my God.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was one of our first episodes getting some insight from you listeners. I did not make English.
Whoa. Yep, we're done.
We should maybe not record super late anymore. But thank you so much for listening to this episode of Morning Rae. Lea and I had so much fun recording this episode for you guys. I definitely want to do more episodes where we include you guys and ask for fun stories. I really like listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe, as it really helps support the pod. We both love you so much, and we'll chat soon. 3, 2, 1, say bye. 3, 2, 1.
I was about to say that I love them. I love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.